Good afternoon, garden friends. What I'd like to do today is walk you through my front garden beds so that I can share with you what is doing well and what is telling me you need to revisit this. And I want to be able to share with you what's lagging behind and some of the things that I have learned with my choices that I have planted in my front garden. Plus some different things that we've done and that we are going to be doing to just change the feel of the garden. So if you love garden inspiration mixed with honest reviews, this is the tour for you. So let me turn my camera around and show you what the garden is looking like. Okay, so we're going to start with my garden box here. Now, my Garro is doing extremely well, but what it's doing, it is blocking my daisies that I have here. Before the Garro got as large as it is, the daisies was doing fantastic. So one of the things that I am going to do is move the Shasta daisies out of here. I have them on 3 of the corners here, but I'm going to move out and take them into the back garden beds. Now, I so love Garro, but let me ask you this. Now, I have the burgundy Garro, and then there's the white. Which do you prefer? One of the things that I find with the burgundy, while I love the color, it can get a little wild looking and woody because the tops get so full and then it ends up spilling over, whereas the white is really wispy. The other thing that I've learned about the red Garro, it does not like to get moved. So I'm entertaining maybe just possibly staking it up because my verbene is doing really well here. I had actually cut it back, but it's starting its next flush. But I think it ends up looking really good. Like I said, I love this, and the hummingbirds be all up on here. As soon as I come around the corner, they dash away. Okay. Now this here is my Monterey Cypress Wilma. I had gotten this when we were in South Carolina because I wanted some evergreens to be visible during the colder months. So I ended up planting this up and just put some marigolds on it. I have my lantana that I put in a pot. It struggled for a little bit, but it looks like it's bouncing back. But I know I need to probably feed it. Now, this is something that we did new in the long bed. As you guys know, I love my Sunshine Ligustrums. But these guys were getting like so full at the bottom. And so what I did was I limbed it up because anything that I would plant in there, because they were so full, it would block the plants that needed the sun. So, like I said, I limbed all 3 of them up. I'm going to keep them like this because I have tons of daffodil bulbs in there that I want to make sure when they come up in the spring, they are getting enough sun. But then for a pop of color, I have my mums that are the deep burgundy. And as you guys know, I love color contrast. And I think when those guys open up and having the chartreuse color of the Sunshine Ligustrum, that'll absolutely look gorgeous. I so love how clean this ends up looking. Okay, guys, do you have a garden that just performs so amazing for you? And I think, while I love my hydrangeas, this is probably my most favorite beds. I love the textures. I love the colors. I love the different levels that I have in here. So let me tell you a little bit about what I got in here and some things that I've learned. So my Proven Winners bubblegum is doing amazing. And I've only had to cut it once this year. My Jacob's coat, I love this. I love the color combination with the purple and the pinks of the Winter's bubblegum and my Greggii that the bees seem to love. Now, with my Joseph coats, this is actually an annual, but one of the things that I had noticed last year for the ones up the hill, I saw them coming back, but when we end up having that bad freeze, they died back. So this year, I'm going to end up cutting these guys back and then just doing a really heavy mulching on them so that they can survive. And then I have my zinnias. Now, I love the colors of these, and I think part of the problem is I didn't stay on top of after they flowered, to deadhead. So they do end up leaning over and getting a little brown underneath there. And then my lavender is just doing so fantastic. But this is the thing with the Greggii that I've learned is once it flowers, I need to go ahead and cut it back so it does not get so woody. But look, guys, see what I mean? The bees just love this plant. My daylilies over there to have that punch of yellow orange color to it. My penstemon is doing well, and then so isn't my Atlas rose. It was struggling a little bit, but look at all of those buds on there and how green it is. And then the cream of the crop is my coral bark Japanese maple. I so love this. Now, one of the things that I am going to be doing is getting in here probably this fall and going ahead and limbing it up. The little small spindly branches that are down there. Oh God, look at these bees. They are just loving the Greggii. But that is one of the things that I'm going to be doing for this bed. But like I said, I so love how full, and I don't like packing beds because I think that ends up contributing to when you get the powdery mildew or the fungus. And as you can see, I don't have any of that on my plants other than stuff that's naturally dying. All right, so the next area, which I am not happy with, and a lot of it is because I really did not invest as much time and energy into it because we were having all that rain and then the heat and then my job, so the two beds here are getting revamped. Everything is coming out of here because a couple things that I have noticed. Well, the only thing that's not coming out of here, I should say, is my new spruce for the ground cover. I'm actually going to be getting some more of them so that I can have it connected. And then I'm just going to keep it nice and trimmed. So this is a nice hedge along here because these guys spread out and they will get about 6 to 8 inches tall. And I think once that fills in, while I help it fill in, it'll be really nice. The yellow spot is because of us digging this bed, these two beds out, and I'm also extending it out. We contacted the utility company to mark so that we would know if there was something that we needed to be aware of. My Kiss Me Over the Garden gate, I'm taking that out. Now, this is the thing. Probably for the first 4 years that I had it there, it did extremely well. And the one thing that I did learn in Master Gardener class is about rotating your plants, you know. So these guys are going to come out of here. Like I said, everything is coming out. The only thing that's going to be staying is my Larapi, because I love that variegated. My penstemon, but the crepe myrtle is coming out. We might end up posting it on Facebook or Marketplace because I wanted a tree here or a tree form, and this is not doing it for me. And I don't know if you guys remember when we were in North Carolina at King's, I had mentioned to Kevin that I wanted the standard hydrangeas. Well, guys, I'm getting two. And they are the little limes that are in the standard form, and they will get about 6 to 8 foot tall. Now, one of the things that I do know is just hearing from a lot of people that the standard, because the plumes get so big, if you're in a windy area, it tipping over. But number one, we're going to make sure we stake it and have it like right center in the garden bed area. And then what I'm doing with all of my hydrangeas is making sure that when I end up cutting it back, I am not cutting it back by a third. All I'm doing is cutting the plumes off. Now, as you can see, this bed has a little more plants in it. But yeah, my sedum, while they like the heat, they seem to get a little crispy up here. And then what is that? Straw flowers. Those guys I'm probably going to get more of. And when we extend the bed out, be more in line with the Larapi. Because I do love the color contrast with these zinnias and that. And then I have the yellow ones over here. But yeah, both of these beds are getting completely revamped with the lime hydrangea being the centerpiece. So I'm excited about that. And then also too, while I think it's like 18 inches that we're extending the bed out, just gives me more room to plant flowers and be strategic about it. All right, now my center bed. My center bed I love also, but a couple things I'm gonna be doing is moving things around. Now my ornamental onion here did well. The one back there didn't do so well. And I think it was a combination of my black eye Susies got huge, the Bloodgood Japanese maple, which that too, all of those branches that are down at the bottom, I'm going to be cutting. Now my phlox, these guys, I'll show you, these were like little, and I think I put 5 over here. And look how well they have taken. And then this here, while it looks bad, this is my wallflowers. And when I was snipping it, I could still see green on the bark. So I'm hoping those guys will end up coming back. Another ground cover, which I think this is, oh, what is this? Because it gets purple flowers on it. I'll have to look it up. More of my daylilies, my angelonias, and then again the phlox. That's doing well. Now this here was a new plant. This is a blue thistle. I had one down there, but the one thing that apparently, as the water would run down here, I think it might have been getting too much water. That's why it ended up dying back. But everything else looks really good in this bed. Now I do have a lot of daffodils in here for the spring. This here is one of my, what is that? This here, rats. And I have tons of this throughout the garden. I can't remember what it's called, but I have those two. I have my Veronica Speedwells that are doing well. And then, like I said, I did cut back my black-eyed Susies because they were a good 3 foot tall and they looked a little crazy in here. But the only thing that we are going to be doing in this garden bed is, like I said, moving my ornamental grass from behind my Bloodgood, limbing up the Bloodgood bush and my phlox. That's what those are. Those are my woodland phlox that get about 3 foot tall. And that's the one thing that I liked, was having the tall plants in the back while all of these guys stayed nice and short. But then they buried my little guy and brother. So this is the center bed. All right, so let's turn to here where my hydrangeas are, and then my rose bush. I am probably gonna do a hard cut on this fall, because one of the things that we had noticed was that sprea there. I mean, it was wrapped around the bottom, literally choking it out. I forget the name of that shrub, but it has prickers on it. But once the hydrangeas die back, Kevin's gonna get in there and cut that back really, really hard, because this bobo is sort of buried underneath there. And I have the 3 bobos here, and then my large limelight hydrangeas, some more salvia, and ornamental onions and black-eyed Susies. Now, the ornamental onions and the salvia is to keep the deer from eating up my hydrangeas, because they did snack on them last year. These guys need watered really bad. And then my, what is this called? It starts with an A. Well, that's doing good. I'll put the name of it up. And this was a little guy when I ended up planting. And this is the one thing I definitely, especially up here, have things in the right spot because of how well they end up doing. These are some of my, asters. A garden friend had given me just a little bit, and they grow so well, and I've just gotten them all plopped up in my garden area. This here is my Johnny Walker that I need to do a hard cut back on so that I can get another flush. of these. And then up here on the long bed, I have my muley grass that when that turns pink, oh my God, it is just so striking. And then more of my Joseph coats and my Sunshine Ligustrum. Now, this one of my Salvia Greggii, I'm gonna end up cutting it all the way back. And hopefully it will bounce back. It looks kind of dead. But I don't like throwing away plants. And then my bachelor buttons, need to get those guys cleaned up. But you can see how nicely these are. And I just so love how that purple complements those guys. That's why I end up choosing them. And then I have another verbene down here. So the garden is looking really well. I'm happy with how everything looks and just really excited for when we end up working in the 2 beds and getting the hydrangeas planted. All right, garden friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing the front garden bed, and I'm so excited to be able to share with you some of the changes that we are going to be making in these front beds. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and if you enjoy my content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. I so appreciate it.